And hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Your host Marley Startled, and we are continuing on the Union campaign with the new patch. So far, so good. I've just had dinner, so we'll be in a good spot. I'm gonna go with this save and load this bad boy up. I believe we're about to head into a big old battle. I'll do a strategic situation as it loads, well, after it loads, to let you guys know what's going on. But altogether, it's a particularly average campaign. Some good battles, some bad battles, but I have been really going, not pulling my punches for the most part, so I can't blame it too much. Also, I sort of cheated with McClellan. McClellan's OP need nerf. Yeah, historically that's the problem. Lincoln didn't use him as a cavalry commander. If he was a cavalry commander, he would have deleted the whole Confederacy. But hey ho. In fact, I think McClellan in this game is modelled so he's not a very good commander, but in peacetime or when he's garrisoning armies, he trains them up really well. So if you want to really micro the game, you have McClellan like during the winter time in charge of the main army to build it up in preparation for future engagements. But we don't bother with that. We just go straight in. So what is the strategic situation? So over in the Eastern Front, we have got the Army of Northeastern Virginia under McDowell, I believe. Yeah, McDowell, who has held Richmond and after several counterattacks by the Confederacy, has maintained its position with the intention of moving further south after winter. On the west of this, we have the Department of Pennsylvania under Robert Patterson, who has been winning a few decisive battles, but is mostly again trying to prevent the sieges of different garrisons and hopefully moving in to take Petersburg. But however, the Confederate forces have grown in strength rather considerably and have now posed a bit of a problem in terms of trying to push further because now their size is almost comparable. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, this big stack of Confederate forces is gone, which is rather good and not staying there. And McClellan has moved to Chattanooga, where I expect him to move further south into Atlanta shortly. Actually, I'm going to use the rail movement there, just to speed down to Atlanta. From there, we will take Atlanta and continue to siege, or continue to raise. Meanwhile, in the center, we have the 1st Corps of the Army of Kentucky, along with the 2nd Corps, effectively just trying to be a garrison force to maintain our supply lines. So, as you can see, there is some rogue armies like Dick's Corps, just bushwhacking throughout the county of Kentucky. State of Kentucky, not county, sorry boys. And so we've had to build a few larger corps of garbage armies to move in to re-garrison and retake this territory. The aim here is just to hold Tennessee with this corps and just continue to let McClellan do his thing. Over in the west, we've had constant battles, with the Department of the West and the 1st Corps with the constant manoeuvring back and forth. Initially, we had most of Missouri pacified apart from the north. Now it has sort of changed with the Confederates counterattacking, them taking more of the southern states, the southern areas of the state, but us securing the north. So it's a constant pivot in this engagement. Hello, Hoffman, welcome back. So what's the plan? The plan on the east to hold and just engage the Confederates in battle until the start of the next campaign season, where hopefully we'll have enough. We will have enough, not money, have enough. Have better equipment and have enough supply and enough readiness to move further south. McClellan will continue to do his thing because he's now moving down into Georgia to cause pain and suffering. And over here, we're just going to be sort of whack-a-moling these rogue troops. Where's the money, Lebast? Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about it. Money printer just goes brute, okay? It's all about that sweet, sweet credit rating. And over here, we're just trying to keep winning battles and pushing them out of Missouri, but it's going to take time. I'm going to turn these guys to defensive for now. And aim to get this army to move down to support. So, we have another engagement. This is the battle we were talking about prior with Patterson being engaged by the Army of the Northwest and the Army of the Potomac. So they're getting to about equal size now to me, if I'm honest, in the west, in the east, especially between each army. However, the key issue here is equipment. There's no point having like 50,000 men with mixed muskets. These are all well-equipped men, but if I keep on trying to increase my army sizes in this theatre, their quality of weaponry is going to get worse and worse. So there's no point building up taller. We've got to wait until the Union war machine gets into place. Still, Patterson's doing alright. Let's do a battle and see how well we do. I don't know how many men are going to be absent. This is quite a new mechanic. Normally I don't see a lot of war weariness in the individual brigades, but quite a new and interesting feature they've added, meaning that even if you've got a 60,000 army, you may not actually bring 60,000 to the battle. Of course, as the Confederacy, you always get high, if you're playing defensive, most of your troops will always have high state support, so you don't really have to worry about it. Okay, so here we are. What is the strategic situation? So we need to take, oh, we've taken this, but we've lost the center. So once again, the battle for Potomatics. Is the whole Confederate army joining? Yeah, the whole Confederate army is joining immediately. So we've got to move forward, probably along this central plain here where it's nice and open. Whereas before I had to play defensively on this map, now I've got to play a bit more aggressively to take Patterson and Connor. Probably won't do a big defensive line here because they haven't brought a large force. I reckon I'm just going to engage fairly aggressively in this battle. Again, I think really it's very easy to overcome the AI with aggressive action because it takes them a while to work out what's going on. Whereas if you just stand and wait, the AI would normally have enough time to think, what should I do? Maybe I should do this, to mixed results. So, where's the enemy coming from? Over here. They may have a larger area of control, so they may actually be spawning around about here. But in any case, we want to take this hill. Once we've taken this hill, we can form defensive lines around these objectives, and from there, hopefully win the battle. So the first troop under Palmer is going to move forward and secure this part of the hill. William Keyheim is going to move up to secure this part of the hill. And Cadwallader is going to move up here. Reminds me of a character from the Twilight Zone. Spoilers, he's the devil. Ruined it for you, sorry. But if you haven't watched the Twilight Zone yet, then your own fault. Also, a thing I have also seen is that military experience is not going up very high for perks right now in this current patch. Don't know why, they just aren't. Normally by this stage I should start getting some perks for my individual soldiers. Oh, I've still got one division left to go. Let's put that division here in the woods. I reckon the Confederates will move down this main road. And that's Cock arriving. Are they gonna survive the roundabout? So the end of the day already. I quite like it when it's the end of the day like this. It means I can cheese a little bit and move my troops a bit closer. Not really cheese though. And run into the Confederate battle line. Which we're going to hopefully aim to engage quickly before the reinforcing Confederate troops arrive. So they're set up in a pretty healthy position. They've got a nice healthy battle line here, but it's not a very ordered battle line. It's a common trend within Confederates. Like you'll see the ordered battle line, as soon as they see you, it goes, let us immediately discard the battle line. But where to put the cannons, that's the question. Now, if I put the cannons on top of this hill, are you going to be in a good position to fire? Could be worse. So I'm going to put the cannons on the right with the intention of sort of pushing the Confederates off this main road. with these two divisions. These divisions must hold the line along with the cavalry. And once the enemy reinforcements arrive going down this road, I hope to peel this division to the right and keep the flank going and use the artillery to hold. But hopefully by then we'll achieve a minor victory and we won't have any. We won't have to fight both corps at once. Aims to fight. Oh, but the AI has decided to be rather clever and retreat. Interesting. Very interesting. That means the cannons are now virtually useless and now have to be moved further up. Like so. I'm going to put some on the road. Where's the money, Lincoln? Where is it? Spent it all on cavalry armies. I'm sorry, I'll get it to you by 1870, I swear. Good, good, good. Looks like an attempt by the AI to withdraw, probably to move up to the reinforcing Confederate corps. We're not going to let that happen, are we, boys? However, lots of these divisions aren't very good. A lot of these brigades aren't the best. Looks like there's some low morale within the Confederate ranks. I'm going to start microing out the orders. Sadly, I think I'm going to get some disgusting overlap, but hey ho. The one thing I do have going for me is a copious amount of Union cannon, which are all rather good quality. So we've got 12-pound Napoleons, which are okay. Yeah. So the 12-pound Napoleons aren't that bad. These standard. That's the 7-pounders, which are pretty bruh. However, I'm sort of overlapping my advance now, which is problematic. Let's turn this up onto turbo mode. I think with the latest patch, it caused the frame rate has got worse. Feel free to fire out long range, guys. Much I do love you just staring at the enemy. Quite a few heavy casualties from Wanglin. And the left division under Palmer is taking its time. And the cavalry's just doing the cavalry. You know, the classic, every video is just the cavalry's like taking its, I send the cavalry to flank and it just doesn't do anything for most of the battle. Comes in at the end. It's like, they're here to help. I was already over. Stuart cavalry syndrome. Not the best battle line, but it could be worse. Yeah, it looks like Confederate morale is not very high in the slightest. The morale here for these guys is awful. They don't want to be here to fight. Take a look. They're eager, apparently. I don't think they are determined. They're apparently determined. Oh, they don't look very determined. Yeah, their armies are sort of broken apart. Sometimes I feel like they can't maintain a coherent battle line. Like as soon as you start putting the pressure on, their battle line just implodes. But again, this is normally from the Confederate perspective. The Union, with its larger manpower pool, tends to have a much more effective, battle line because, of course, it's got more men. So it's like, I don't have to split up as much. That right is gone. Looks like we end up in a melee engagement. I think I've worked out why sometimes my guys get pushed into melee. If you right-click an enemy and like aim and target an enemy, the Union brigade or the brigade you've selected will move into shooting range. But then if this guy routes, these guys will just keep on chasing to get into shooting range, meaning that what you have is like a rogue brigade commander who just like yeet their way into getting surrounded. Now, I believe there is a way to detach your commanders. So right now, I'm getting messengers that go all the way over to this commander, get him to do stuff from the general. I believe there is a way to detach, basically meaning that this will operate by itself and no longer listen to the commander. So if you really want to really micro, I reckon you can detach your commanders. But I feel like it'd be too OP. Because it would just reduce the amount of micro I have to do massively. And right now, the AI needs everything it can get, as you can tell on the strategy map. If there was like a penalty to that, then okay, like more damage to morale or organization. But I feel like that's a mechanic that doesn't have a penalty. Perhaps if you detached it, it would become AI controlled. That way there'd be a penalty. Sadly, I believe all the more experienced Confederate commanders have bit the bullet or been pushed aside due to their many failures at the start of the game. So now we're seeing people like Maxley. I've never heard of Maxley. There'll probably be some guy who knows about Maxley, says, yeah, this guy was a great commander. Don't know what you're talking about. But it's from my many binge watching of Ken Burns. I've never heard of him actually. And many hours of the Ken Burns documentary. So you can also like have like initiative turned on. Select the command to react to threats while moving his troops. He will stop his units to engage and continue movement if the path is split. Ability to command your brigade one by one, you already cheat. Yeah, but I think the game simulates it a bit better, because even if I do command it one by one, they still have to get messengers across. Like I send that order there, the core commander still has to send a messenger. So you can see it's waiting. Now let's do an experiment. So this is not in the battle. If I tell this commander to detach, wait for the order. If it detaches, can it just do its own thing and become a micro god? Okay, it's attached. No, it still gets orders. I guess it doesn't. I think I may have misinterpreted it. I think it just takes it out of the line of battle. Yeah, I think I misinterpreted it, guys, boys and girls. I think I've screwed that up. Yeah, so I think it still receives orders from its core commander, but when you do these mass moves like this, it will no longer be part of that formation. So actually, it's not OP in the slightest. It's actually somewhat pointless. Somewhat pointless. Now we should have that Confederate force moving down that main road. If I move the cannons over here, like so, charge them down, and just right on time, we've defeated the first corps and we're moving into move the second corps up. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe that should be an option, Hoffman. I think you might be right there. So for anyone who's watching on the YouTube, Hoffman's has said, because you command your brigade one by one, you already cheat the way you should play the battle. But I see it like that. If you want a better battle, more fair, you should go and give core orders and let the AI do the micro. I think he is right about that, because I'm not sure if the AI does micro with his own brigades. So if you wanted a fair fight, then you probably shouldn't be microing your brigades and instead letting the AI just micro it themselves. Like how I think the AI most of the time does it. So maybe it might be an idea next campaign to do a no brigade micro run. It's going to be a pain in the ass, and I'll probably end up forgetting to do it. But I'll try and do it as much as possible. So like this. So instead of like microing the brigades, I just control the cores like so. It may also mean more intelligent core building as well. I'm not getting skillable. I mean, I'd like to, but I've already had a bad experience with a combat mission. I tried to stream combat mission and I couldn't stream it. I spent like £100 on a Normandy on the Normandy expansions, and now I'm feeling a bit upset. Feeling a bit butthurt. So here we're going to be as abusive as possible. Oh, let's receive the message. Okay, nothing important. So let's receive a message. I'm going to be abusive as possible. So I think the next, when I get around to do the Confederate campaign, I reckon we'll try and do a no brigade micro run. Which is going to be an absolute nightmare. As soon as these guys rout, I think it's going to turn to a major victory for me. Da, da, da. But I can see cavalry being an absolute nightmare as well, because really you've got a micro cav. Otherwise you're just going to have like all your corps charging, unless you've got skirmish cav. But that shouldn't be a problem for the Confederacy if you don't have you don't have enough resources to have a large cavalry force. It's only a minor victory, I don't believe it. Because there's so many surrenders, these cavalries have become like crack troops really early on. Like these guys here, they're also elite troops. Come on, give me a route. I got one route. There you go, so now we've got a veteran force. Maybe, I think also for the Confederate run, I'm not going to chase down retreating forces, because this is me not pulling punches and I'm just making entire armies rout. Like, I'm doing 21,000 damage just from surrenders. Which is not realistic. Most of the battles in the Confederate, well, most of the big battles were very indecisive. Apart from maybe Gettysburg, and even then, on the face of that, it was indecisive, just strategically decisive. What, 15,000 cavalry each side normally in every battle? Maybe 5,000? Between 5 and 15? You know, in this day and age, I don't think it would ever get made, but I'd love to see a historical drama, a bit like Game of Thrones, but set in the American Civil War. But of course, without the dragons, without the dragons, where of course you've got like a season of the campaign in the West and a season of, and it just keeps on getting more and more complicated, and with like the big battles and that. But of course, it won't get made anymore, but because hashtag slavery bad. But still, I that would remind me of the old good quality products, and the old sort of TV series I knew and loved. How close are we to capitulation? He's on 31. As soon as Big Boy McClellan gets down to Atlanta, I think that's going to be even worse for them as well. Let's return up here. I keep on forgetting to use railway as well. Here's a little helpful hint. Click this button, railway. And as a final season, a random mayor's wife comes and burns Richmond. Yeah, exactly. No, it's what do you call it? It's I don't know. Who's the woman that did the diary of covering the Confederate life in Richmond? This famous woman. I forgot the name. I've got to Google it. Sorry, boys. I'm Googling it. Mary Brooke, is that it? Richmond. Mary B. Chestnut, perhaps? It's like Mary B. Chestnut's burning down Richmond. Well, don't do it, Mary B. You've got so much to live for. This is the last time I pay with the Confederate dollar. But of course, in today's society, you'd have like Robert E. Lee is actually incompetent, but it's secretly the military genius is his wife or something like that. Civil War in Transvaal, Boer Rebellion. Hopefully my two corps would coalesce here and push these guys out. Diplomacy, yes. So I can get more weapons. I'm pretty sure these guys keep... The game keeps changing my policies as well. Stop. Stop now. There we are. So how many troops are going to rout? Damn! I'm going to have 10,000 troops that don't want to fight. And over here I'm going to have 5,000 troops that don't want to fight. It doesn't really matter, I've got 83,000 men, but still. I wonder if I can just auto-resolve it. Please don't get memed. Okay. Yeah, now we're getting supply again. Why is your fighting spirit so low? That's what I want to know. Tell me, game. I want to retake Fort Seymour as well. I'd have a rather small battle here, but again, I've got such low morale. Don't know why. Didn't know. We're getting to sort of the critical mass period here, where there's so many armies for the Confederacy. That's just a case of just winning the battles and reducing their national morale that way. Oh, I'm gonna go all the way down here. Why? Why, game? Why? I'm just gonna march down. Ready for lag? Lag this, mofos. The game almost crashed doing that. The game almost crashed doing that. Yeah, giving army-wide orders makes the game very upset. It doesn't like it. What time is it? So it's 3:50 in the afternoon. Or was it 3:50 in the morning? 3:50 in the morning. So it looks like we're probably going to have a one-day battle. So Confederate campaign rules, I think A, no brigade micro, B, no chasing down retreating enemy troops when they rout, and C, no raiding. No raiding allowed. 10 speed, go! Who's upset and why? Are you a bad commander? No, but you're gonna get iron discipline to stop being so spineless. Normally I like sharpshooters, but when I've got soldiers, it's like when I've got whole army of large parts of my force that's not playing the game. It's time I give them iron discipline. No recruiting, no building, no policy, no move allowed. I don't think that's even winnable. Like I think the army, like the starting Confederate army is like 10,000 strong, maybe 30,000 put together. You can't win with no recruitment. I think if you lost a single battle, your guys would just get yeetus deleted by the auto resolve. So I've already done a playthrough where we get the British involved. I think I'll try and do a playthrough of getting the French involved. Again, we'll aim to do a European intervention playthrough rather than the OP Confederacy is an industrial powerhouse. 10k versus probably, especially if they came in piecemeal. If 500 came in at once, it'd be a problem. But if they came in piecemeal, it'd be like, let me just destroy your 25k stack so I get a minor victory. Hello, who are you? Let me stop. Alright, cannons, stop doing what you're doing. Second division, stop doing what you're doing. Cannons need to stop now. Stop now. Stop, 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 stop. About to wander into a mess. Literally about to wander into a mess. Stop, for the love of... Cannons, please. Cannons, no. But the Confederates has abandoned their position. What are you doing, Confederates? What are you doing, Steppe Confederacy? We're not playing this game. Oh, I see. So I probably got scared by the cannons. Or like, okay, we've got enemies coming down from the north. Let's relocate to form a battle line. Okay, that makes sense. You need to retreat, and you need to stop what you're doing. I effectively need to make everyone here stop what they're doing. Unsupported cannons, always a good thing. And the cavalry can retreat over here. Half the army's wandering around the wrong way. This is why you think before you act. You need to charge this because the cavalry is potato. Cavalry, please, I beg you. There we go, here's the perks. Who will win? 6,000 cavalry boys or one Confederate brigade? Do 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 do. There's your answer. Now run away. And it only cost me 626 casualties from one cavalry brigade, 132 cavalry from another, and 564 from another. Gonna need you to run away. My cannons are completely unsupported. Let's see what the AI wants to do about that. Probably nothing because I'm about to yeet behind them. Yeetus, deletus. Bow, 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 bow. Did my cav make it out? Yes, they did, just about. Where are you going? Oh, I'm so angry. Who do you belong to? Why are you over there? Pilgrim, what are you doing? You don't belong in this part of the battlefield. You're supposed to be all the way over here. Pilgrim do good? No, Pilgrim, you've doomed us all. Just don't look at it. It'll sort itself out. Don't think it, don't say it. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, that's my boy, Van Dever. Start moving up. Not the best equipped troops again, sadly. Another mess. This is when you sort of hope that you get the end of the day, so you don't have to, so you can reform what's left of your garbage force. Wait, so my own doing, it was a lazy manoeuvring on my part. I wonder where the commander is for all of this. He's all the way over here somewhere. Lurking. McDowell's lurking. Okay, they're doing a withdrawal. Withdrawing back across the line. That's a very slow withdrawal, I must admit, not the fastest withdrawal in the book. There we are. Firing at long range, just the way we like it. A heroic withdrawal from Ewell, but sadly futile. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Ugh. Blue. On blue, da da dee da 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 dee da da da. Blue for this campaign, and then red next campaign. No ways. You're watching a lazy battle anyway. You're watching a historical reenactment of Union Command. Enjoy. Bow, 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 bow. Fortunately for me, these bad boys aren't the best. They don't really stick around for very long. Their morale's not the best. Chugging monster. Bruh, it's a slippery slope. I just about survive with Coca-Cola. I reckon if I had Monster, I would. I'd probably. My lifespan would end. Like, yep, that's 20 years of my life gone. One of my saving graces, I don't like the taste of Red Bull or Monster. Oh, sugar-free, yeah, but the caffeine in it's probably like a shot of adrenaline. Like, take your morphine. He's been shot. He's not going to make it. Give me the Monster. We'll inject it directly into his veins. And you start hearing sounds. Bruh. Great advert, guys. Drink Monster so you can hallucinate. You ever wanted to have a waking nightmare? Have you ever felt about going on a spirit quest but can't be bothered to go to prison for buying mushrooms? Well, we have the solution for you. It's sugar-free and will only reduce your life expectancy by 5 years per dose. Monster. Because sometimes mushrooms are just too hard to get hold of. Yeah. Have you ever felt about being a... have you ever wondered what it felt like to be a sleep-deprived prisoner in Guantanamo Bay? Well, we have the solution for you. With this product, you will never have to be vetted by any government agency or arrested. And for only the price of $3, you can see your life flash before your eyes. Monster, because you've got to die of something. Yeah, Amsterdam is the stoner paradise. Amsterdam is where people go in Europe, especially the bourgeoisie, which is basically yuppie teenagers. Like, I've been to Europe, guys. I've been to Amsterdam. It's so cultured. That culture. Yeah, the city is beautiful. Or is it beautiful? Or is everyone just too stoned to know that it's ugly? It could be an absolute shithole, but because everyone's so stoned, it's like, oh, this is a really great place. Where's the nearest McDonald's? I've got the munchies. Well, there you go. See, I find it rather unique. The American stance on drugs is really strict. Yet at the same time, so many of the American middle class and the even those in government admit to taking drugs, like cannabis and weed and things like that. Whereas the American legal system is supposed to be really strict on drugs, isn't it? Also, I find it rules for V, not for me. Ah, I see. Yeah, depends on how much money you've got, I suspect. Yeah, and college, which is basically your British university, but America's they call it college, I believe. Everyone takes drugs, and it's socially acceptable. But I find it rather interesting about your the free strike policy. So what? After 3 trivial offences, after the third offence, it gets marked up to a serious offence, or a state offence, or a federal offence, or something like that. So if you stole a cookie 3 times, you'd get 3 months of probation. But after the 4th time, you could get 5 years in jail or prison. It's oh no, 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 Mr. So-and-so. You've taken that bagel too many times. I hope you like 25 to life. Damn, you got me. What are you in here for? Oh, I murdered 20 people and I got 5 life sentences. What are you in here for? Well, there was this really lovely tasting bagel at the local supermarket or Walmart, whatever you call it. And I just couldn't get my... I just ran out of money one day and I thought, you know what? It's worth a life imprisonment. Some states are going away from that fair one. But to be fair, if you're going to do the same trivial offence 3 times, you probably do deserve a harsher sentence. Let's be honest, if I'm stupid enough to steal a bagel 3 times, then New York's making sex work legal. Yeah, out of New York. Let's be honest, it is New York. Yeah. People say people in Europe want to go to New York. It's why would you want to go there? You've got to go to New York. It's really important. Why don't you go to a nice American state rather than an overpriced, crowded, loud, obnoxious city? But Europeans are please guys, we need to go to New York. It's what? It's just another city. What you get in New York is exactly what you'll get in London. Well, at least go to somewhere a bit more unique, what's the place of Atlantic City, you know? Same thing, like, if people want to go to Las Vegas. Like, why do you want to go to Las Vegas? It's a desert town where you lose most of your money. Not New Vegas, Las Vegas. Sorry, that's the what that for? Yeah, probably better go to the rural areas of New York. I think probably a lot of New York gets a bad rep because everyone thinks about New York City. They don't think about like the rural areas around New York. So actually, I could understand why people would want to go to the rural areas around New York. I would like to go to the place where Twin Peaks, the original Twin Peaks, was set. Because that was a very beautiful place, at least from what I saw on the TV show. He just refused to route. You've been holding me up all day. Yeah, a nice bit of Twin Peaks. Oh, actually, that's a guilty pleasure, Twin Peaks. And that 70s show. That 70s show and Twin Peaks are my two guilty pleasures when it comes to American TV shows. I can go with Friends. I'm not fussed with Friends, you know. God damn. Give up. Whipple, please. Cities are overpriced as well. They're like tourist traps. Same thing in Europe when you go to like Spain and that. A lot of British people will go to like the tourist traps like Benidorm, or the more middle classes will go to fancier areas, and the food there will be a rip-off. But they'll still go anyway. And then like a mile down the road, as long as you speak Spanish, you can get the exact same service for like for pocket change. Well, you're a braver man than me, Whipple. You have more or less held me up all day. Finally. Mr. Whipple. So this is a pretty easy battle. Well, it was okay. A bit more fiddly, trying to organise all the cores up. But normally once all the cores are in position, things get a little bit better. Like now, this was just mop up. You could tell by the fact I was just talking all the time. You know when I'm not talking, there's some hardcore sweat going on. Bow, 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 bow. Ah, yes. Everyone loves. Most of my, actually, looking at it, most of my YouTube follows are from Gates of Hell, or most of my views are from Gates of Hell. But actually, most of my streams are Grand Tactician. That's where I get most of the boys. I mean, Gates of Hell was fun for a while, but I couldn't do it to death. Now a victory, Richmond. I beg to differ, but okay. You can play that game, mon ami. So let's look at the armies. Department of the West. Can I give you better equipment? Yes, I can. This is why I went on diplomacy focus here, boys. So we upgrade. Still no move over here. I don't intend to move anytime soon. This army of 5,000 isn't worth my time. Let's play on whack-a-mole this army. Over here, this is just going to hold Nashville. The army, not Army of Indiana, the First Corps. You need to stop sieging so you can take territory. Let's burn down Atlanta. I mean, actually, that's quite a sensitive subject. I personally found the whole march towards the sea quite unpleasant. Not a nice thing that happened. What's going on here? Withdraw. You're not fully sized yet. You're not a big boy. Interesting. Did you cross the river? You did. Interesting. And then the army of O'Connie. How's the manpower doing? Not bad, but we've almost won. We've almost won this campaign. I think there's a few more victories. Yeah, a lot of it. A lot of it. I think a lot of people love the Grand Tactician videos because it's just a lovely game to watch. It's very slow. It's entertaining. Yeah, I like Grand Tactician because it's just each video, well, each playthrough has its own sort of story. Like, you know, this one's got McClellan's march down to Atlanta. This one has got the Missouri Dust Bowl. They're all very unique. That's what I quite like about the this game. Where, say, like War Thunder is okay. War Thunder is hard to stream because it can be quite boring, especially if you're playing properly. You can only really do War Thunder's clips, I find. Most of my War Thunder stuff is clips. Like, it's like, what are you doing in War Thunder? Oh, I'm camping behind this rock. I'll be here for about 20 minutes, and hopefully I'll be able to see someone, and no ghost shells will screw me over. Go back to raiding? Hat's meta, exactly. There's a meta for that. Dead by Daylight's pretty fun, but it's a pretty old game. That's got pretty. That's more of a casual playthrough. I've uninstalled Enlisted, but that's because it broke my Steam library. So I had my Steam library on my SSD along with Enlisted, and what happened was after playing Enlisted, the Steam library could no longer be found, or none of the games could be found on the Steam library. And so I was like, yeah, not playing that game again. Goodbye. And now I'm waiting for the subs to release on World of Warships. Enjoy your 18,000 men. One of my armies disappeared. Yeah. First Corps, let's upgrade you. Taylor, Pickens, Sumter. Come on, First Corps, where you at? That's Army of Kentucky, is it? Army of Kentucky. Northwestern Virginia, Kentucky. Indiana, Kentucky. Can't upgrade you, don't have enough stuff. At this stage, I think the Confederacy is crumbling. I'm going to auto-resolve that. It's an easy battle. Easy battle. Like, they've only got 27 war score left. It's Ogre, Confederacy. I have the high ground. McClellan's just raiding our state. I would like to see a report to see how much damage my raiding is inflicting. Because right now I've got the raid mechanic. And it says building damage, but it doesn't tell me, like, what the collective impact of this raiding is doing. Yeah, stream on chips, dump it on YouTube, unless it's like a tedious game like War Thunder. So, for example, your New Vegas, like I think you can export your New Vegas clip videos, your VODs to YouTube directly. Yeah, raiding's broken. Raiding is broken. Raiding is banned next playthrough. Raiding OP need nerf. Or you could say that raiding is historically accurate, depending on who you talk to. Well, that's good. That was really good to watch. I did like I did enjoy the Fallout playthrough. Hopefully you continue it because I really liked it. Auto resolve. That's an easy battle. Easy battle. Cowboy. You need to buy a big iron, but I don't think you show guns on Twitch, so actually you probably don't want to buy a big iron. A fake big iron, that's what you need. Or just get a golf club and call it big iron. I don't know what Twitch's rules are on like brandishing weapons on stream. You know what tech companies are like. Like, oh no, and you don't want to be the guy who NDs. I think there was a famous YouTube video of a guy who ND'd. He was streaming and he shot it into the wall. I was like, ah. I'm going to march down to Petersburg because they've left it undefended. Auto resolve. We're coming to the end of our time as the Union campaign. Yeah, I think this is a victory now. Yeah, war's over. Oh, okay then. But I'll just be checked just to make sure. But yeah, if they're allowed, then sure. Don't see reason why not. Well, the war's over. Confederacy sues for peace. Union armies triumph. The rebellion crashed. So what does that mean? Don't need to watch this. National morale 24. Let's take a look at national morale. Through state support plus 10, through private wealth minus 6. Okay, it doesn't really tell me much. You saw the video, yeah, that's funny. Federal total dominance. So what do I think of this campaign? What do I think, boys and girls? So this campaign is not really a fair representation of events, mostly because of McClellan's raiding evil, raiding OPness. So what I find is I have mixed feelings about the new change in national support. Before, the Union had to push a lot deeper and complete the objectives on the left, meaning that the Union Confederacy had more time to build a defence, but now it's more based on state support, national morale, etc., state support, and that sort of thing. But again, this could have been biased from the raiding, so that's not too bad. In terms of the AI, I think it has got better. No worries, have a good one, Hoffman, and I will see you later. And in terms of the campaign itself, I don't think it's been. There's no negative changes. Oh, okay, no negative changes. No real. Some minor positive changes. Like I did like the war weariness affecting the Union quite a bit. But what things I didn't like was the sort of rogue whack-a-mole armies in Kentucky, which was a bit irritating. And that was it. Altogether, not too shabby a performance. But now we'll have a break. I'll go for a smoke. And we'll do another stream, this time from the Confederate perspective, where we play on uber hard, etc., and with some self-imposed rules. This is not a particularly fair campaign to base the latest patch on because of the bruhness of raiding. But next time we'll make sure there's no raiding allowed, and we'll try and do European intervention. So, gentlemen, thank you for watching. I will be back fairly soon. Oh, no, that's not it. And I will see you guys later. Adieu.